Instead of his life being cut short at the age of 32, imagine a world where he returned to Macedonia, victorious, his empire intact, and his ambition still burning. Having conquered the mighty Persian Empire, he would not have been content to simply rule. His sights would have inevitably turned westward toward the Italian Peninsula. At this time, Magna Graecia, southern Italy, was home to numerous Greek colonies. With their support and their desire for a powerful Greek ruler to aid them, Alexander saw an opportunity. His seasoned, battle-hardened army disembarked at the port of Tarentum, modern-day Taranto, greeted by the Greek inhabitants as a liberator. Yet, the native Italian peoples, especially the rising power of Rome, would not accept this foreign conqueror so easily. The Romans adopt a straightforward strategy, a direct, overwhelming assault on the Macedonian center. They aim to break Alexander's phalanx, believing that if the rigid formation collapses, the rest of his army will crumble. Alexander wastes no time. He leads his army northward into Campania, a fertile and strategic region. His forces are nothing short of legendary. The elite Hypaspists, the formidable Macedonian phalanx, and his invincible Companion Cavalry, men who had fought alongside him from the very beginning. Supporting them are the deadly Cretan archers, the precise Rhodian slingers, and the swift Thracian peltasts, all experts in ranged combat. On the battlefield, his numbers stand at 9,000 men, a force tempered by years of experience in the brutal campaigns of Persia and India. Among them, 1,300 elite cavalry ready to deliver a devastating charge. Rome, sensing the imminent threat, gathers its own forces. A total of 9,400 soldiers march to meet Alexander near Capua. Though Rome is still in its early days of military evolution, its legions are well trained and fiercely disciplined. Their army consists primarily of Hastati, Principes, and Triarii, the foundational units that will one day form the backbone of the Roman war machine. Supporting them are 1,000 light skirmishers and 600 Companion and Roman cavalry. The Roman battle formation is set. The Hastati, the younger and less experienced soldiers, take the front lines. Behind them, the Principes, more seasoned warriors, wait to reinforce the attack. The Triarii, the oldest and most elite soldiers, stand in reserve, ready to intervene at a critical moment. Cavalry is stationed on both flanks, prepared for swift engagement. On the opposing side, the Macedonians advance in echelon formation, their phalanx stretching wide to envelop the battlefield. Alexander, ever the tactical genius, positions himself on the left flank, alongside his elite companion cavalry and Hypaspists, preparing for a decisive strike. His goal: to overwhelm the Roman right-wing cavalry, break their flank, and crush the army from the side. As the armies draw closer, the Roman levs, their light skirmishers, rush forward, hurling javelins at the advancing phalanx. But the Macedonian Rhodian slingers and Cretan archers return fire, forcing the Roman skirmishers to retreat. Realizing the Macedonians are extending their formation, the Romans adjust. The Principes shift forward, reinforcing the Hastati at the front. With a roar, they unleash their pila, the heavy throwing spears that crash into the Macedonian front lines. The battle has begun. The first clash is brutal. The Roman left flank cavalry, composed of allied Campanian horsemen, skirmishes with Alexander's companions. But the Macedonian cavalry is superior, and soon Alexander commits the majority of his left-wing forces to a full assault on the Roman flank. The Roman allied cavalry begins to crumble under the relentless pressure. Within minutes, the right-wing Roman cavalry is shattered, leaving that side exposed. Meanwhile, in the center, the Roman Hastati make contact with the Macedonian phalanx. They push hard, attempting to force their way through, but the phalanx holds firm, its long sarissas forming an impenetrable wall of spears. On the right flank, the Thessalian cavalry clashes with the Roman Equites. Unlike their allies on the left, the Roman cavalry here manages to hold their own, and the Principes begin to press their attack. As the battle rages, the Romans commit their final reserves. The Triarii march forward, determined to break the Macedonian center, where the Hastati have begun to falter. But Alexander sees his moment. With most of the Roman forces now engaged, he makes his move. Leading his companion cavalry personally, Alexander launches a devastating charge into the exposed Roman right flank. His elite horsemen smash into the side of the Roman formations, causing instant chaos and panic. The Roman flank collapses, and soon, the entire right wing is in full retreat. With the flank shattered, Alexander delivers the final blow. Employing his signature hammer and anvil tactic, his cavalry swings around, trapping the remaining Roman soldiers between them and the relentless phalanx. Within minutes, the Roman army breaks completely, fleeing in disorder, many cut down in the process. In a single battle, the early Roman Republic suffers a catastrophic defeat. With Rome's forces shattered, its expansion is halted in its infancy. The once rising power of the Italian Peninsula now finds itself under the shadow of the Macedonian Empire. Had Alexander lived to see this victory, history itself may have been rewritten. Rome, rather than dominating the Mediterranean, might have been absorbed into a greater Macedonian world order, forever altering the fate of Western civilization